Welcome to another Travel Talk with Travel Time. My name is Lois, and I am the team leader at Travel Time TPI. We're a team of experienced agents who have been bringing you these live broadcasts with information about various destinations and experiences for when travel resumes. We know everybody's comfort level is different with that, but we're very hopeful that within the coming months, we will be able to start having these great experiences again. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by one of my team members, Wanda Smith Sparkes, and she is a cruise expert with Travel Time. And we also have as a guest with us today, Leanne Hill, who is with MSC Cruises. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you, Lois.
For having us.
So MSC is a interesting product. We have started to receive more and more inquiries for cruise in particular. And we know that we have had some guests really enjoy their MSC experiences in the past. So tell us a little bit about MSC, in case people are not familiar with that cruise line.
So MSC first of all, it stands for Mediterranean Shipping Company. So we're not just a cruise company. We also own, it's a family owned and operated company by the Aponti family in Italy. Our headquarters are in Geneva, Switzerland. We've started out in cargo shipping way back. And you've probably seen some of the MSC shipping containers out there on trains or boats or driving along the highway. So you'll see the yellow shipping container with the blue logo. That's part of MSC. So that's part of our company. We own car and ferry. We own terminals all over the world. So we're a massive corporation. We're the #1 privately owned and operated cruise line in the world, and we are #3 in terms of capacity in the world. We're #1 cruise line in Europe, in South America, and also in South Africa. So we're huge.
Wow, quite a history there. Certainly, yeah. Lots of strength to draw on there in the history and the current holdings.
Yeah.
So I know Wanda has some questions for you as well, but I have one burning question that I think some of our listeners will be interested in hearing the answer to. And I know that some avid cruisers on our page and within our client list are always interested for something new, something different, something that will make their memories and their travel dreams come true, I guess. And we have lots of those after the past year that we're waiting to realize for sure. And just tell us, what about the MSC Cruise experience is different than what other cruise lines they may have experienced in the past?
Right. So again, MSC, we have a European heritage. So the onboard experience, for the most part, is similar to all other cruise lines, but the sort of the entertainment, that kind of thing, the cultures that are going to be on board, there's going to be a lot of different nationalities on board. Majority of people on board are European. So if you are a person that likes to really get immersed in culture, sort of have those, like that cultural experience, get to meet people from all over the world. I did a Northern Europe last year with my mom. 2019 now. But it was great. I mean, you sit with people at dinner, you sit with people on the show, and there's so many stories. You meet people from all over the world. One of the things that I love about MSC too, it really focuses on family. So for people that want to take their families on vacation, especially in Europe, to be able to take a family of 4, it's very inexpensive way to travel. And we really focus on the learning families. So for people that, again, want their kids to have a more cultural, immersive experience, we do excursions that cater towards just families. So instead of just doing an excursion, you almost do like a scavenger hunt in Rome or what have you. But we have a lot of on board for kids. We have all the kids clubs. So we have language classes and we have learning classes. We have language and cooking classes. Sorry, we have social media schools. So there's just a lot for the kids to get involved with. We call them edutainment programs. So instead of just having the fun water slides and the pools and stuff, you can actually let your kids learn sort of in a fun way.
And everybody's been learning from home this year, so that's a great way to keep that going. Yeah. So I think you have a few slides and some information to share, so you can go ahead and do your screen share.
Okay.
Sure. And we can just mention too that for any listeners that are live on the call, feel free to put your questions into the comments box, and we will address those with Leanne at the end and answer any questions that you may have.
I'm sorry, I'm just having technical difficulties right now. Here it is. Sorry. Can everyone see that? I hope everyone
for that. For any listeners that are live on the call, feel free to put your questions into the comments box. Okay, somebody got their mic on at the end and answer any questions that you may have.
I'm sorry, just having technical difficulties right now.
Okay, your screen is up and we have your slides there.
On there? Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to skip through because I just went through a bunch of this stuff. But like I said on board, so you can see this ship right now. This is our new Seashore ship.
For any listeners that are live on the call, I think maybe if anybody got Facebook on, you need to turn that off.
I'm just hearing, a little bit of echoing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So this is a picture of our outdoor area on this ship. We like to have everybody experience, basically be at sea. So we want people to be outside enjoying all of the activities on board. So you'll see right there's people at the bar, there's the restaurants. I'm going to go through some of the new ships and just show you pictures of how fabulous they are, and also show a video for those of you that are interested. But basically on our ships a lot of our ships, the new ship builds especially, are very they're the most technologically advanced, environmentally sort of friendly ships out there on the sea. Our brand new ship coming next year is going to be powered by LNG, liquid natural gas. So good for not good for the environment, but like overall, probably we're very environmentally conscious company. So we try to do the best that we can in that area. As well, we have technology on board. So for instance, even with our health and safety right now, everybody's given wristbands for all the contactless payments that you're going to have on board, for any contact tracing. So if there is any issues on board, we would be able to notify you if you were within proximity of somebody that got sick. So just having all that ability on board has been the reason why we're sailing right now. So we have plenty of dining, we have excursions, we have spa clubs. Again, I'll get into this when I go through some of the ships coming up. Just to let you know, we have 5 classes of ships within MSC for some of you that aren't familiar with MSC. The first 2 classes of ships, the Lyrica and the Musica, these are our small ships. So these are our ships that are going to hold between 1,500 to 2,500 passengers. So if you are looking at more of an intimate itinerary, those ships that can sort of get into those smaller ports, these are the classes of ships that you're going to want to look at. Because, for instance, the Eastern Mediterranean, our ships that go to Greece, Croatia, Montenegro, these are the ships that are going to sail there because they're smaller, again, can get into ports like Venice. All the Lyrica class went through a $200 million refurbishment in 2014 and 15. Basically, we took the ships, we cut them in half, we added more staterooms and more lounge space and stuff like in restaurants and stuff like that. So they've all been refurbished from 2014 to 2015. And then our Fantasia class will be our midship, 3,000 to 4,000 passengers. These are going to be, we have a yacht club on board. Again, I'll get into that later, but these will be the first class that will have the yacht club on board. So if you are interested in the yacht club, Musica and Lyrica won't have that ability. And then our next generation ships, our fourth class and our 5th class would be the Meraviglia and Seaside. These are our massive ships. These are probably the ones that you've seen pictures of. These are the ones that have all the bells and whistles, all the activities on board. And again, and they sail pretty much everywhere in the world. I'm going to go into more detail about them soon, but just to show our growth plan, during the pandemic, we didn't slow down. We didn't sell any ships. We only continued to build. So in 2021, we just had the Virtuosa ships start sailing last week. We have the Seashore coming in November, and we have our World Europa, our 6th class of ship coming. It's going to be a massive 205,000 ton ship holding almost 7,000 people at full capacity, 6,700 passengers. So it's going to be huge. And that one's coming the end December of 2022. And then just in terms of health and safety on board, I'm not going to go into all the specifics because otherwise that would take me another hour. But I just want to direct you guys to, we do have amazing videos on YouTube. They're really, really well done. And because MSC has actually been sailing for almost a year now, we have developed videos that are actually on board with passengers on board. So just type in YouTube, MSC Cruises plus health and safety, and you'll see them all pop up. But it'll give you exactly what happens from the time of embarkation to the time you disembark, with all the social distancing protocol that's on board. So you know what to expect in terms of the safety protocol. All of the people that get on the ship have to be COVID swabbed before you get on. So there's that precaution right from the start. And all of the crew is fully vaccinated as well. But definitely check out those videos, because it will give you just more confidence, I think, in what we're doing on board. And then the road to recovery for MSC. So like I said, the Grandiose has been sailing since last August of 2020. So we have been dealing with our health and safety, changing them, revising them. We've had a year to work on this and get it right. And we just had the actual Virtuosa, our new ship, started sailing in the UK 2 weeks ago. Successful voyages on that. And the Seaside's also sailing in the Med right now. So right now we currently have 3 ships sailing in Europe, and so far so good. There's been no bad experiences. Everybody's happy. Everyone's raving about them. Even with the protocol on board, they said it doesn't ruin the cruise experience in any way. So in the summer, we'll have 10 ships returning to service in Europe, and fingers crossed, we'll have ships coming to North America very, very soon. And an interesting fact, I guess, as I heard the other day, for the whole cruise industry in general, is that 30% of new cruise bookings are actually first-time cruisers, which is really, really interesting. And I often wonder if it is attributed to the health and safety protocol, because everyone is feeling so safe on board.
I think we could probably attest to that as well, and yeah. Wanda as well. A lot of the inquiries that are coming in is, I think cruising has been front and center for a lot of people, and just hearing the details of, the health and wellness attention that's being put into that industry makes it a very positive thing. Wanda, you would agree?
Absolutely. It seems to be a great choice because of the health and safety protocols, and past experience has already told me that cruise lines have already gone above and beyond even before the pandemic hit. Health and safety was a high priority for all cruise lines prior to the pandemic. And to see what MSC and all other cruise lines are doing since the pandemic, I mean, nobody should be afraid to sail. The calls and inquisitions that we're getting now indicate that.
Yes, definitely. And that's one thing that we're really proud of, that we were sort of the leaders that took charge in the health and safety. And it's been a tremendous success. Like I said, there's been no issues on board so far, and we've been doing it for a year. So. And then also for reassurance, for clients that are booking right now, we have a Cruise Flex program. So this has been extended. So for any bookings made until July 31st of this year, applicable on sailings up until September 30th, 2022, you can cancel free of charge up to 48 hours prior to your cruise without any cancellation fees or penalties. We will just move that booking to a future booking that you feel more comfortable sailing on.
That's a really good feature. It takes away that, risk that people feel, that in case they change their mind for comfort level reasons.
Exactly. Yeah, no, for sure. And then just to get into the fun stuff now. So the MSC Virtuosa, so this is our 4th Meraviglia class big ship. It started sailing this just a few weeks ago in the UK. Again, only UK citizens on board this ship. It was just sailing it was doing a 5-night sailing in UK to Portland. But we will continue sailing on itineraries in the UK for the summer. And then I've just posted some sort of where the ship's going to be over the next year. So once it's done sailing in the UK, we'll make its way down, and it will do Spain and Portugal. It will sort of touch on Spain and Portugal. And then in the summer, it's going to be sailing out of Genoa. One thing to note about MSC is that we interport. So what interporting means is that on that middle itinerary, you can basically embark and disembark on any of those ports. In Genoa, you can do it in Marseille, in Barcelona, Lisbon. I don't think you can't get on in Morocco, but the four main ports there. So say you were already in Europe and you were in France, but the cruise started in Genoa, and it's easier for you to sail out of Barcelona or Marseille, you can do that. And then you would just do the same 7-night itinerary, but starting in and ending in a different port, which makes
that adds a lot of flexibility,
flexible.
eh?
Yeah, definitely. And because we get that all the time, that people are like, I'm already going to be somewhere. Where can we go? We really love this itinerary, but we don't want to go all the way back to Italy to get on. So again, even for flight, flight prices and that kind of thing, it definitely offers a lot of flexibility. So it will be sailing. It'll be sailing this Mediterranean cruise. It'll touch on Morocco, like I said. And then in the winter, it's going to make its way to Dubai. One thing to point out about the Dubai itinerary, we have a private island called Serbani Yas that we go to. And this Serbani Yas actually has almost like you can do a safari on this island. So not different than an African safari with the, lions and elephants and stuff, but it's still tons of wildlife. And you're 4x4ing out in the desert on the safari. So I think that's a really cool feature of that private island. And we just announced that we're also going to be sailing in the Red Sea. So this itinerary specifically touches on Dammam in Saudi Arabia as well. So if anyone's interested in that part of the world, the other interesting thing, when itineraries reposition from, say, Europe to Dubai or vice versa, Dubai to Europe, or, Europe to South America or wherever, when they have to reposition, these are very popular itineraries. And I think the reason being is because they're longer durations and the price point's really good. So the value that you're getting it's unbeatable. But you're basically going from continent to continent. So you're seeing so many more places. So those, again, have been really popular for us. This is a picture of the Virtuosa. So you can see this big LED screen. It will change. It's constantly changing all the time. But this will be the focal point of the ship. So this is where all the shopping is. I think there's 1,100 square feet of retail shopping. So if any of husbands out there can't find their wives, that's probably where they are. This will be where all the specialty restaurants are, just where all the entertainment and sort of theme nights and activities are happening. We also have a new lounge called the Starship Club. So we have our first humanoid robotic bartender. So this is Rob. So meet Rob, everyone. He mixes up some crazy cosmic cocktails. He speaks 6 different languages. He will interact with guests. He tells jokes, and he also apparently he even has some dance moves. So you'll have to check that out if you're on this ship. This is a picture of our main pool area. So just very, you can see sort of the bed lounges. All the chairs will obviously be social distance now. But just, again, one of the center points of this ship. We have a couple new specialty restaurants on board. So this one is called Indochine, and this is a Vietnamese style restaurant with a French flair. This will be for all the vegetarians and vegan people out there. So this is where you're going to want to go for that type of food. And then we have our Olas Tacos and Cantina. So get those frozen margaritas. But this is a place where you're going to want to take your family. It's going to be all family style tacos. There's going to be you can make your own guacamole bar. There's a bar where you can make your own guacamole. For dessert, they have ice cream tacos. So it's basically the taco shell is a waffle. And then you make chocolate sundaes and stuff. So again, just a really fun, sort of different specialty restaurant. And then the accommodation on board, there's a variety of accommodation, just our regular cabins, but we also have inside studio cabins available for any solo travelers. And we also have a lot of family cabins on these big brand new ships that will accommodate, some of them accommodate up to 12 people through connecting rooms. So again, tons of options. And then the Yacht Club, again, I'll talk about Yacht Club. So Yacht Club is our ship within a ship concept. It's a very exclusive private area. So nobody else on the ship can get into Yacht Club except for the Yacht Club guests. They will have their own bar, their own restaurant, their own lounge. They're going to be at the front of the ship. So they're going to have the best views when you're pulling into port. So it's an experience. You have a 24-hour butler, you have a 24-hour concierge, you have priority boarding, you get, you all like premium drinks, you name it. You are a VIP on the ship when you're in Yacht Club. And the cool thing about Yacht Club is that you can have an inside cabin within Yacht Club. So it's not like you have to have a deluxe loft suite to be part of the Yacht Club. You can actually have an inside. The only thing I want to say is the inside yacht clubs go very, very quickly. They sell out really, really fast. So if you have a sailing or a ship that you're interested in, I say book it sooner than later for those. And then we have the Seashore. So this is our Seashore. It's a tongue twister. Seashore ship coming in November of this year to the Caribbean. It's going to be doing 2 7-night alternating Eastern, Western, Mediterranean itineraries out of Port of Miami. And just sorry.
The Seashore is one of the ships that Wanda has some group space. So we'll talk about that after.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, this will be our 3rd ship in the Seaside class. It's our Seaside Evo ship. And I'm just going to go through the new things that we have on board the ship versus other ships within the same class. So this 2-story cabaret lounge. So this is where you're going to spend your evenings, having a drink, listening to live music. There'll be shows in here. This is also great space. If you have ever part of a conference or a massive group on board, you can, choose to occupy this space throughout the ship for whatever needs you may be. It will hold up to 400 people, and it's right at the back of the ship, so it's going to have all the ocean views as well from this lounge. Then the wine cave. Again, it's only seats 16 people, but again, for intimate parties or if you have a family group or something on board, this would be amazing to do one night. Just go there and do some wine tastings. So this is a new for us on the ship. And then we have our sky bar. So again, it's on the top floor. It's just an outdoor sort of cocktail lounge. You can sit outside in the Caribbean under the stars and have a glass of wine. And then on the back of the ship, we have our new aft infinity pool. So on the Seaside class, we have a pool at the back, but this is our first infinity pool. So again, you can just sit there and look at the ocean. There's a bar there. The middle part is an elevator. So this elevator will actually take you up to the Bridge of Sighs. So this is a glass walkway that goes out that you can walk sort of over the water, I guess, or over the infinity pool. But it's a great place to have photos taken. I've seen so many wedding photos and everything taken on there, and it's beautiful. And then we have 2 infinity pools. So there's going to be one on either side of the ship. They'll seat up to 20 people. But again, anyone that doesn't want to swim in the cold water pools can go in the whirlpools. And then we have our Aurea bar. So what are Aurea? This is an exclusive lounge just for Aurea guests. Aurea is sort of the category down from a yacht club. So it's still very private and exclusive. It doesn't have a private lounge and pool area per se. And you don't have a butler, but you still have access to these areas where nobody else on the ship can go. So it's and also there, with the Aurea too, you get a lot of you have access to the thermal spa area the whole week you're on the ship. Plus you get things like massages for included and things like that. So again, for the people that just want to relax and have more of a VIP experience, this is a great option as well. And like I said, there's Hola. So Hola Tacos and Cantina is also on the ship as well. And then we have our Butcher's Cut Steakhouse. So on the other ships, Butcher's Cut is in the ship. Now we've extended it so that you can do al fresco dining on outside. So in having a filet mignon with a glass of red wine, again, waves crashing under the stars, I think, and just by candlelight, I think it's just a really nice ambiance. And then here's our yacht club. So this is our butler sort of category. So again, like I said, we have tons of options. You can do an interior stateroom all the way up to an owner suite. We've added 2 owner suites and 41 new Grand Deluxe suites within Yacht Club. So on the Seashore, this is our most exclusive and biggest yacht club that we have on any of our fleet. And there's a picture of the owner suite in case anyone wants to take advantage and have literally the best views on the ship, right at the front of the ship. And then I have a video. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the sound to work, but it will just show you some of the dining options and some of the areas of the ship on the Seashore. So I'll play that. It's only a minute.
Okay. Some of that cuisine looks delightful.
That's stunning.
So all that video is just from YouTube. So again, you'll be able to find all of these with sound on YouTube. But like you said, that was stunning, that atrium part. It's awesome, that area. It's the vibe and the energy within that area, because this is where they have all the theme parties, the bar. It's sort of the center of the ship. So it's funny because when you embark on the ship, that's sort of the area that you come into first before you go to your rooms. So everyone was they loved it so much that people were just dropping their luggage everywhere and sitting and having drinks. Like it just became like a party just to get on the ship. So like I said, it's because of the Europeans on board. They love having fun. So there's always so much energy on board. There's like dance parties outside. The white parties are outside on the back of the ship, and they have, the strobe lights and videos and music and dancing. And it's just a really great experience. So now just moving on to our private island. So all of the Caribbean itineraries, any Caribbean itinerary that you sail on will touch at Ocean Key MSC Marine Reserve. So this is our private island that just opened a year ago. 64 square miles. You'll be able to see pictures later, so you'll be able to see sort of the scale of how big this island is. It takes, if you walked across the whole thing, it would take 20 minutes. There is electric golf carts for people that can't walk, so we have that accessibility. 8 different beaches. There's just a picture of the beach. It's very white sand, blue waters. As you can see, there's a pavilion there. So if you had any weddings or you wanted to get married, you can get married on this island. There's some paddle boarders out here. So again, we have like sort of a sports beach where you can rent all the kayaks and the paddle boarders, but there's the ship dock. So you can just kind of see the scale of how big this is. So again, there's food trucks on this island. There's shopping, there's restaurants and bars. It's basically its own island, but it's just for the people that are coming in on the MSC ships exclusively. So again, sort of the water sports area where there's some kayaks, and you can just see how beautiful the water is. There's also a shipwreck there, so you can scuba dive down to the shipwreck. And then we have the lighthouse. So at night, when you're there in the evening, some of our itineraries even stay there overnight. But at night in the evenings, they do a big laser light show. So it's kind of, it's all choreographed to music. So you can just sit on the beach. They have big beanbag chairs on the beach and just relax and have a glass of wine and just watch this laser light show, all choreographed. And then this is our World Europa. Again, there's videos on YouTube about this ship. It's stunning. It's going to be huge. I cannot wait. I don't know a lot of details. They're just starting to filter through now of like sort of the areas on board and stuff. But it's debuting in December of 22, but it's open for sales now. So I have just a few pictures of it. On the top left, this has kind of been all over the media lately, but that spiral thing that's going down the back of the ship, that's actually a slide. So if you don't want to wait for an elevator, you can just take the slide, and it's going to be the longest slide at sea. I think it's like 11 stories high. So if you're into that adventure, it's great. Again, and it also kind of looks like an art piece, so it's beautiful. Then quickly just going through some of the deployment. So this is for summer 2021 deployment only, but I just wanted to show you for summer, we have, you can see at the bottom, Western and Eastern Mediterranean. Most of our ships are deployed in Europe. Europe is, again, like I said, we're the #1 cruise line in Europe. So we go everywhere in Europe. We also have this year, we'll have 2 big brand new ships going to Asia. So doing Japan and China. Northern Europe, we've actually had to add more ships to Northern Europe because this itinerary is so popular. Like I said, I did this last year with my mom. Probably one of my favorite itineraries that I've ever done. So we have some big ships going there now too. But again, Northern Europe, if you're going to book sooner than later because prices on these itineraries just keep going up and up and up. So just lock it in now. And then in the Caribbean, we'll actually have 4 ships sailing in the Caribbean this winter. We also do it doesn't show on here because it's winter, but we also do South America sailings, very intense Brazil and East Coast South America sailings. And we also do South Africa as well. We're not in Alaska yet. I say yet because I'm assuming at one point we will be coming to the West Coast to do Alaska. But right now we unfortunately don't do Alaska. But we did add Saudi Arabia and the Red Sea cruises to our itineraries. So this is going to be it's going to be, like it says up there, a combination of sun, beach, tradition, and culture. Because there will be approximately 50% Saudi Arabians on this ship. The home port is out of Jeddah, but it goes to Jeddah. It does Luxor in Egypt. It does Jordan, Petra, Jordan, and then a couple private sort of ports in Saudi Arabia as well. So if someone wants something off the beaten path, very different, this on our brand new ship, this will be a great itinerary for you. And then just in terms of promotions for you guys out there, we do have Voyager selection. So these are just, again, like it's our Voyagers Club. It's as you sail more with MSC, you get more points, you can sail, you get more perks. But we also have status match. So what this means is that if you're a first-time cruiser to MSC, but say you have loyalty with another cruise line or hotel chain or tour operator, car rental company, you name it, other than airlines, we don't match airlines, but you can take advantage of status match. So this means that your first cruise with MSC, you're going to get the same perks that you would have on whatever other cruise line that you have top tier status with. So again, just reach out to your travel agent because they will be able to explain to you exactly how to go through this process.
We've had clients take advantage of that. It's a great program, actually.
It is, especially if you have high status, you get a lot of really, really great things, especially dining, priority boarding, etc. So, and then our ongoing special offers, these are offers that never end. We always give military, whether you're active or retired, civil servants, so government workers, we give teachers, and honeymooners anywhere between a 5 to 10% discount on the stateroom category that you book. So 10% discount would be on a balcony and higher. But again, these are ongoing, and a lot of them are combinable with other promotions. So you can really maximize the value on your cruise. And then this is a promotion that's just for, you have to book before June 30th, but you can book sailings up until April of 2022. But for any of you healthcare workers out there, firefighters, doctors, nurses, lab techs, pharmacists, take advantage. Some of these cruises are up to 50% off, anywhere between 20 to 50% off. So again, massive sailings. And yeah, even some of those positioning cruises that I was talking about are coming up at 50% off. So very, very affordable. And then our limited time promotion, another one we have until our Victoria Day sale got extended to June 7th. So what this promotion is for any 3, 4, 7, 8 sailings in the Caribbean or the Mediterranean, you can get an all-inclusive drinks, Wi-Fi, and a shipboard credit per cabin. So this one is really good value, and I'll tell you why right now. So our cruise only versus our all-inclusive package. So people are always saying, does the all-inclusive actually make sense? Or do cruise lines just add the things in and then charge you anyways for it? So you'll see the value. I've done a comparison here where a cruise only balcony. So I've just chosen the Seashore sailing on March 5th. So for a balcony cabin, it was coming out at $1,300 per person without drinks or Wi-Fi. Then I did on the right, you'll see the all-in pricing. The balcony cabin is coming out at $1,446 per person. So having the drink package and the Wi-Fi, you're only essentially paying about $150 per person more for the entire week. So the value is crazy because the drink package alone, if you were to add the drink package and Wi-Fi on, you'll see the prices there. It's almost $650, $600. So the savings overall for you to take the all-in pricing is a $433 value for you guys. So even if a lot of people are like, well, I don't drink, I don't drink alcohol, but you're also going to get within that all-in package, you're going to get bottled water, as much bottled water as you want every day. You're going to get specialty coffees at our chocolate shop on board. You're going to get non-alcoholic cocktails. So there is benefits, and just the Wi-Fi alone is $222. So again, just a really good savings. And then just speaking of the group space that Lois was talking about. So currently there's 2 group space being held. So if you want to block into any of these groups, you're going to get, she's confirmed that there's the easy drink packages included. There's going to be Wi-Fi browsing on 2 devices. These prices will also include your port fees and taxes. So prices starting on this one for $952 per person, which is fantastic. The only additional thing that you would have to pay for would be the gratuities, which are $133. But I recommend paying for your gratuities when you purchase the cruise. Otherwise, you're going to be charged this when you're on board, and it will be in American dollars. So it's a benefit for you to pay it up front because you'll actually be sort of saving money in the long run. Again, this one and the group space that she's blocked on April 16th of 2022. It's the same itinerary, Eastern Caribbean, again, touching Ocean Key, our private marine reserve. And then going to, you're in Puerto Rico at night, but I think that's great because I've done the day and night, but the night was really nice because we just went out to a really nice restaurant in Puerto Rico that night, and the streets are empty. You have the whole place to yourself. So having that evening is really, really nice there. And then this one does Dominican as well. So again, and
actually we can point out that date is actually Easter for 2022, which is a big deal for us here, correct, Wanda?
Yes, it is. That's absolutely why I took this particular sailing date out as a group.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in any of those particular sailing dates, please reach out to Wanda or Lois, because and then the price on this one's it's a little bit more, but it's still very reasonable for what's included in this group. And the other thing I want to mention too is if anyone out there is thinking of family reunions or has a group in mind, please reach out to your travel agent because they can put something like this together for you very easily. And then there's always extra perks and that kind of stuff that comes along with the groups and like having group space on board and stuff like that. So please reach out if you have. I know family reunions and sort of multi-generational family is very, very popular right now. So
we have a lot of family groups who have been suffering through not seeing each other for a long time, and
definitely
vacationing together is one of the great ways to deal with that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. We always do massive family trips on cruises. And the great thing too, because I have in-laws and stuff that live in Australia and they're all over the world. So be able to like just sort of come all together in one place. It makes it easy for everyone. So, and Europe again is another great option as well. But we have tons. Yeah. So we have, we'll have 19 ships in our fleet at the end of this year, which is huge. We're building ships. We're adding new itineraries. We're always, trying to make things better for everyone out there. So just have a look. And again, if you have any questions, you can just reach out to Lois or Wanda. But that's all I have.
Leanne, you mentioned the culinary aspect that MSC has great culinary on board, and you mentioned the itineraries and the new ships. So I was thinking, like, who would be the ideal client? Because you just mentioned family. So is there anything else that you would add to what your description of an ideal client for MSC would be?
Well, like sort of what I said before, just for people that are interested in experiencing, the culture and having a more immersive experience on board, because a lot of the entertainment on board, I forgot to mention, but it's fantastic. And this is one thing that is different from other cruise lines, is that because there's 6 official languages being spoken on MSC, it's hard for us to say bring a comedian on and do a show, because we'd have to do it in 6 different languages and jokes probably wouldn't have the same meaning. So we do a lot of Broadway style theater. So it's like a lot of singing and dancing, costumes. We even have, like on the seaside in the Caribbean, we had an opera on board. So a 45-minute Madame Butterfly opera. I'm not a huge opera person, but I'm like, why not? Because it's free, it's included. And I've never been to an opera before. So just having experiences like that, where you might do something out of your comfort zone, it allows you to do that. And on the Meraviglia class, I want to say we used to have Cirque du Soleil. Some of you may have known that the Cirque du Soleil. We don't have that now. Since the pandemic, we've taken that off. But we still have our Carousel Lounge on board, and we will have shows that are similar to Cirque du Soleil, all the acrobatics and that kind of thing. It just will be through a company called Carousel Productions. So it's not going to be Cirque, but it will be very, very similar. But yeah, so I would just say, so families and just people that want to have an immersive experience.
So for families that have children, what kind of kids clubs would MSC provide?
So we have 5 different kids clubs, so all different ages. The other one thing I want to mention about MSC is for babies and infants. A lot of the cruise lines have a 6-month minimum age requirement to bring infants on board. We don't. You can bring a 2-month on board, 3-month on board. So again, it's more flexibility for those people that may have booked a trip and then got pregnant and they're going to have a 3-month-old baby by the time they sail. They can still bring them on board. And we will, we give things like strollers. We include strollers, complimentary, backpacks for excursions, like all that kind of stuff for the family, for the infants, and bottle warmers. The babies can take part in the kids clubs per se, but the parents need to be there if you're within a certain age. And it's just because of food allergies and stuff like that. So you need to have your actual the parents present. But the other option too, for kids that are older, if the parents wanted to go on an excursion, the kids, they don't want to, they want to stay and have fun on board with all their new friends, you can leave them on board while you go off and do excursions. You just have to get that prearranged before, you just have to let the ship know before I think it's 2 days, 48 hours prior to you doing that. So again, another option for flexibility with families.
Another question that we get asked a lot is about the ideal length of a cruise. So whether people, like, especially I guess when people have not cruised before, for first-time cruisers, they think that to try a cruise, they want a shorter cruise. But in our experience, the at least a 7-night cruise gives the best overall experience. But what is the average length or best option with MSC?
Oh, there's so many, because we have cruises that range from 1 day to 116 days. So on our world cruises. So it really depends. Like, I mean, a lot of people, we're finding that some people that are already in Florida, maybe they've taken their kids to Disneyland or wherever for 3 or 4 days. They can do an option of doing a 3 or 4 night sailing on MSC. We have those 3, 4, or 5 night sailings as well that out of Port Canaveral. So that would match up with that. If they wanted to try us, but they don't want to sort of commit to a longer time frame. Again, like you said, 7-night is the ideal. It's sort of for the Caribbean especially. It's sort of in and out. You don't use a lot of holiday time. We're finding in Europe obviously is longer durations. People like the 10 night, unless they're adding a 7-night onto something else, but they usually prefer the 10 to 16 nights. And just overall this year, what we're finding in bookings is that people are booking higher end products now and longer durations. I think they're
2 years worth of vacations.
They're done with the pandemic and they're like, we're just going to splurge. So we're definitely seeing a trend that way, that people are definitely taking these longer. Even we have a world cruise, like I was saying, the 116-day world cruise, but we also have segments. So even if you wanted the world cruise experience, but maybe could only go for 70 days or 50 or 90 days, we have those options as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we have a couple of group space taken out, and to provide the information for our listeners if they are interested. Wanda is the primary agent on that, so she has all those details. But there is a link dropped into our comments box here on this live, which has all the information on both of those sailings. So if you want to click that and have a look through, you can get the dates, the itineraries, and even the price points. And any team member at Travel Time can give you a hand to get that booked. But Wanda is the primary agent, so she can certainly answer any questions anybody has on how that's set up and what the inclusions are and so on.
I'd like to add that I've actually sailed the Meraviglia and the Seaside twice, and I've taken many pictures and lots of videos, and they are posted on my Facebook page. So if anybody wanted more pictures, just touch base with me, and I'll easily share some of the videos and pictures that I've taken and answer questions if they should have any. Because it's my belief, Leanne, I could be wrong, but the Seaside is very similar to the new Seashore that's coming in the fall.
Yes, it definitely is. And for the Caribbean, the Seaside class seems to be very, very popular. People prefer that by far. And I think a lot of the reason is it's just, it provides that open air space. You feel like you're really in the Caribbean because you're always outside doing activities. I mean, there's the other, I forgot to mention the other entertainment on board, but we have Formula One simulators as well. So if any of you Formula One fans out there, We actually have a race car where you can get in and drive it. I've done it. It's so hard. I give credit to Formula One drivers because it's really hard, but we have a lot of virtual reality stuff too, where you can race water slides. There's theaters where you can go in and it's like a big video game and you can participate with like 4 or 5 other people, shooting zombies and that kind of stuff. So very virtual reality focused activities on board for teens too.
I've done it all and it's all hard.
Yes, I know. I know these teens and these little kids are like, it's embarrassing. I'm like, oh.
So I think from experience with Lois and our full team that we can say that many or more than half of the people that we book cruises for are for the Caribbean, Lois.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a big, we get such long winters that people want that sun and beach and sand for more of the year. And so Caribbean being closer for flights and so on, and overall cost is less than to Europe. So we do have a big Caribbean request.
Yeah, so I would say definitely for that, check out the Seashore because it's going to be a stunning ship, and then take advantage of all the promotions that we offer as well.
And just to speak again about the groups, there are often, things that can be included when you travel as a group, and you don't have to know everybody in the group to take advantage of a group price. Like if we have group space taken out, you can book one cabin and still take advantage of all of the benefits that would be there. And it doesn't involve you in any connection at all with other people who may be booked into the group that you don't know. So no worries on that.
Unless you come with a group, if one person books one cabin, they'll never know anybody else that was on that ship booked in that group. No. So it's a fabulous way to make your reservation. One, you usually get a little perk in the price, and 2, there's always a little extra benefits that are built in. So because of the group.
So those are 2 great options for spring, and we know that people are more than ready. Everybody will be ready at different times is what we're seeing, but there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's getting pretty bright. And I know by this week we're having lots of people book their flights to go along with vacations that are booked for fall already. So people are hopeful, and certainly by late fall or even into the winter and next spring, people will be ready to take those cruises for sure. So just want to thank you very much, Leanne, for sharing all that great information with us today, and pointing out the YouTube information is a great option as well, because we can point people there and share that on our pages. And also anybody who's listening that wants more information on the products that we've talked about today can go there and find out information.
Yeah. And again, certainly our show was shared on YouTube as well.
Yes, it is. Yep. And the link is in the comments for the website, where we've uploaded a list of the itineraries and group space that we're holding with MSC for next spring. So that's at your fingertips as well. So thank you, Wanda, for sharing all that information, and thank you to Leanne for joining us today. It's much appreciated.
No worries. And I hope to see everyone I'm going on the seaside or seashore in November, so I hope to see you there then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.